welcome to Connect2Pods, commercial services group recruitment podcast for job seekers and employees alike. In today's episode, we are celebrating the 4th birthday of Connect2Hampshire, a steadfast business that has seen great success in their 4 years of operating. We are chatting with Nicola Cook today, the business manager of Connect2Hampshire, discussing their 4th birthday. So hello Nicola, and welcome to the podcast.
Hello Joe.
How are you doing today?
Good, thank you very much. How are you?
I'm doing well too, thank you. Thank you once again for coming on the podcast, and without further ado, let's begin the interview. How has Connect2Hampshire evolved since you started? And how has it adapted to changes in the market and industry?
Okay, so I joined Connect2Hampshire in April 2020. So it's actually my 3rd year anniversary in about 2 days' time. And when I joined, the joint venture had been going for almost a year at that point, just over a year. So they went live in April 2019. So when I joined, we had a team of 15, including myself. And, 3 years later, we've now got a team of 31. So we've pretty much doubled in size in the last 3 years, which, and that has been to do with really the demands of the work and Hampshire County Council, so that's how we evolve, we adapt to the demands. And as the demands have increased, obviously our team size had to increase. We've also looked at different ways of restructuring the team, again, to play it to Hampshire's demands. This is all to do with their requirements. They really think highly of, customer service, great client satisfaction. So, we restructured to face those demands really. So we've now got a business support team that now supports all of our team, and they are there really to make sure that calls are answered, emails are answered in a timely frame. So that's kind of how the team has adapted. The changes in the market industry, obviously COVID was a bit of a strange time. Obviously, all of our team, started working from home. Hampshire started working from home. So we had to obviously change how we interviewed candidates, how we met with managers. And even when work, people started going back to work, their desires changed significantly. So, they obviously realised that they could do a lot of what they were doing from home. So their demands increased. And although Hampshire may have wanted people back into the office, we had to kind of negotiate to face the demands of the candidates, because obviously to fill positions, we need candidates. So there was quite a bit of negotiation actually with Hampshire and candidates, as in what can they do and what can Hampshire, how could they meet those demands? So, a lot of it is hybrid working. So, there aren't many of our workers who do 5 days a week. Obviously, there are, those customer facing type roles that have to be 5 days a week, if they're out in the community. But other roles, have had to adapt because of those changes. So it has changed a lot, and there has been a lot of negotiation over the last couple of years. But we seem to be in a good place.
Brilliant, thank you. So as you've just said, you're coming up on 3 years as business manager of Connect2Hampshire. Congratulations, by the way. In that case, what are some of the key milestones that you have witnessed as business manager that Connect2Hampshire has achieved?
So some of the key milestones that we have reached, and is something that Hampshire were really keen on, is actually building our own direct pipeline of candidates. So that's been a real imperative of ours over the last 3 years, is to build that pipeline. So we have more control over sort of the candidate market. We've got a better relationship with our candidates. We really know our candidates and can actually use them again and again in different parts of Hampshire. So, that has been a real key milestone, is increasing that. We've obviously had targets and things like that we wanted to achieve with regards to our direct fill or our direct candidate pipeline. Some months we reach it, some months we don't. But actually, overall, the amount of candidate sort of bank that we have built up has been really significant over the last 3 years.
Amazing, thank you. So what would you say some of the biggest challenges that Connect2Hampshire has faced, and how have your team overcome them?
I mean, obviously we have discussed COVID. I think that's probably one of the biggest challenges that we faced over the last 3 years, or last 4 years, to be fair. But some of the other kind of challenges that we've had is just reacting to demands. So Hampshire obviously would come to us at some times and ask for 30, sort of new workers, or 75, a bank of 75 workers to, because they're reacting to a demand they have. So we've actually had some quite big challenges of finding quite a lot of candidates in the market, and, sort of delivering that service to Hampshire. Some of it, we've had lessons learned, some of it's gone really well. Some of it, again, we've had to have conversations. We've both had to adapt on both sides, to find the quality of candidates they're looking for. So sometimes it is just that kind of reactive, because obviously you can't always plan for jobs, that are arising within the county council. So it's those kind of reactive challenges that we've faced, that we've kind of learnt from. We've built, we've built resilience into the team, so we can actually face those challenges again if they ever happen in the future.
That's great. Thank you. So, final question from me. What advice would you give to other businesses who are just starting out based on your experience with Connect2Hampshire?
Listen to your clients. And I mean, really, really listen to your clients, and don't make assumptions. I think we sometimes assume what our clients want. We sometimes assume what the candidates want. So it's a really getting, better at listening to clients' needs, and, having that kind of adaptive way of looking at things. Nothing is impossible. If you listen to your clients, you can really put something in place that will support them. And obviously with our restructure, we've listened to Hampshire over the years. We've listened to what they want. We listened to how we can service them better. What does great client service look like? And that is what has got us where we are today, because we have listened, we have adapted, we have restructured. So we're in a great place with a great relationship with Hampshire.
That's brilliant. Well, thank you so much, Nicola, for coming on the podcast.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, Joe.
And thank you all for listening. I hope that this was some inspiration for you when starting your own business. Well, thank you all for listening to this special episode with Nicola Cook. We'll be releasing an episode every month on Spotify, YouTube, and our own site, so make sure to subscribe to keep up to date. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to reach out to us, email connect2pods@gmail.com. Connect with us again in the next episode.
Yeah.